Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? I don't know how fine it is with the struggles this team is having, but we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. So, get your chats in, get your calls in. Let's get active, and let's talk about this stinky team that we love, Inter Miami. But I'm not going to talk about this mess by myself. A buddy, a friend is going to join in this misery with me, and that is Uncle Ed. Say hi, Ed.
How you doing, guys? We're smiling on the outside, but on the inside, we're heartbroken because our team sucks.
Yes, it does. So get your comments coming, and let's join into the fun, everybody. So
Join
far
into the misery that
so
is
far,
being an
so
Inter Miami fan.
Yeah.
All right.
So this week, like we have the last 2 weeks, we're actually broadcasting on YouTube and also on Twitter. So anybody that's watching us on Twitter, let us know, and everybody else, is on YouTube. So everybody wants to, jump into the chat room, announce your names. I don't know if you see people in there already, Ed, but I'm just now starting to see some people pop in. So everybody start,
I got a few people already in.
All right, so everybody starts saying hello, because this week is no different than the last few weeks. We're going to give away a Caneswear gift card this week. And speaking of Caneswear, let's thank them and tell you guys that you should go to Caneswear. The store's in Davie. It's very easy to get to, right off of University, just south of 595. Very easy to get to. They got all the good stuff there at a little bit cheaper price, and a great staff to hang out and talk to you and talk soccer with you. You can always use FMTV 10 for a 10% discount. And any orders online, if Davie is too far from you, any orders online above $99 will ship for free. So thank you to Caneswear. And, like we said, Ed, we're going to give away a gift card like we have the last few weeks.
We sure are, Peter Brown, and there's a lot of people. There's already some people in the chat, and it's I get excited when there's a lot of people in there, but sometimes we can't follow it because they go on their own rants and stuff. So guys.
Sometimes we get yelled at by those in the chat because we're not following along, but sometimes the chat is its own show, and there's also sometimes a little bit of a delay, but. So give you guys a minute or so to jump in the chat, and then we'll say hello to everybody. But, there's, as always, you can give us a call as well, and that number is 786-474-4435. Leave a voicemail. And, the funny thing is, Ed, literally Sunday afternoon, game is over. What, 3 o'clock around there? A little bit, 3:30, whatever the time was exactly. Yeah. And already I've got voicemails coming in instantly, immediately. Immediately voicemails were coming in. So it's pretty funny. That people
everybody I think is everybody's pretty concerned about the coach. We're going to get into it right now, but let's start off, Peter, by saying hi to some of the people in the chat, and then we'll get into the good stuff. Or the bad stuff, I guess you could say. All right, how you doing, B King? B King is here with us. B King, he was the first one on.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got. And
hello to.
Go ahead.
You didn't see him?
Yeah, I saw later.
We got Jazz Fusion.
Okay. Yep. I'm not putting him up. The way that I'm broadcasting this now, the fact that we're streaming on two different platforms, I don't see anybody that chats before we go live. So that's just because we're using we're using kind of it's a service called Restream, and so it allows you to stream on several different places, and so I don't see anybody that beforehand. So I'd lean on you for that, Ed.
Got on before.
Yep.
Got you. We got Esteban Dido. He's one of your favorites. Always criticizing Peter Brown. In a good way.
Yeah. He's always here. It's always good.
And we got Jose Velasquez is also in here.
All right. Well,
don't know Jose. If Peter could find him. I figured. You've got let's see, where is it? Nabil Janina, something like that. Sorry if I butchered your name.
That's usually my job.
We got Brendan Hess.
That's my nephew in the other room. Yeah, he's in the other room.
Nice. Kata is also with us. We got Jonathan Carranza. How you doing, Jonathan?
How's he feeling about his uncle there over in Philadelphia now?
Yeah, he's in Philly. I don't know if he's doing any good. I haven't really followed him, so
I don't know either.
Is it his uncle or his cousin?
Whatever.
He's pretty young too. Well, I also want to say hello to Sepand Levasani. Yeah, another one I butchered his name. Of course, one world, one goal. Always following us, always tweeting us, always sending us messages. Pablo Coppola is also here.
All right.
Good old Pablo Coppola.
Fixing some
things. And there's that person. That person is also here.
Oh, that's a good name.
Right? There's that person.
Yeah.
And then we got Bruni 2589.
Hey, fellas.
Our latest winner of the gift. We got, who else? We got Peter Brown. And I think that's it for now. If you guys want, send us a message be sure to send us a few messages that we see you on the chat, and you'll be able to win a gift certificate from Caneswear.
Absolutely. And we'll you see the phone number up on the screen, so give us a call. And also just throw this out there. We're going to try something a little bit different this week as far as for people that won a gift certificate. If you have not, if you've had a hard time reaching out to us via social media to get your Caneswear gift card, I thought of a new way. And that is the phone number that's on the screen, 786-474-4435. You could chat. You could text message me your email address and full name, and we could try it that way. For people that don't have social media or just don't want to do it that way, we use voicemails with this phone number, but I also can accept text messages. So
we could do that. I want to mention a couple more people, Peter Brown.
Okay, yeah.
We got Russell Bufton, I think. Yeah. Hello from the UK.
Hey.
Awesome possum. And we also have Almendarez 15. And he's already starting. We need a new number 10. Which is something we got to start talking about, Peter. Is Higuain good in that position or not?
Well, hang on. I almost ended this broadcast by mistake. You start going down the Higuain path, and I almost canceled the entire show.
Yeah, man.
So,
I just had to start there.
Yeah. The funny thing is with Higuain is I thought, because last year he dropped back so much, I thought he actually would excel at a number 10 and be better at number 10 than he has been as a number 9, because he chooses to drop back so much. And when he connects, he can make a great pass, and he did it last year several times where he made a great connecting pass that, maybe didn't result in a goal, but I mean, it was definitely, it was a good opportunity. And I thought this year, him actually assuming the number 10 role, which Phil is just talking in circles, it seems like, because he keeps saying, well, his job is no different than it was last year. Last year he basically is saying that Higuain has free range, and that his role is no different. The expectations are for him to score and make assists, no different than they were last year. But we all know his role has clearly changed on the field. Even Higuain made comments before the season started saying he's going to let the young guys do all the running and he'll kind of sit back and make the passes. So even he was admitting that not only am I getting the number 10 on my back, but I am going to play the number 10 role. And so far this season, it really hasn't worked out.
It really hasn't, Peter. We're 4 games in. He's scored 1 goal via penalty. Campana scored 1 goal, and that's basically it. We haven't scored much at all. Just one playing goal and 1 penalty. So in 4 games, that's not good. We are where we are, and the title of this show says it all, Peter.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull something up because we're talking about where we are, and I titled the show because we are way down here. I got to keep going, Ed. I got to keep scrolling. We're down here.
Wow, look at that, dude! You could have kept going.
28.
Wow.
And now you could argue, and somebody did say this on I think it was Twitter. Somebody did say, well, you're tied for last in theory with Vancouver and Montreal, but we are still listed as worse.
Goal difference.
When you look at everything.
We look at that goal difference.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when you look at it all, we are the worst team in the league, Ed. The absolute worst team in the league.
The bottom of the pit, we're down there, man.
And I have said that, look, it's a young team. They're going to take some time to gel. Chris Henderson, in Henderson we trust, right? So we feel like, and he was being heralded in the offseason that he made some good changes, and he did what he had to do, and what he had to do seemed to look good. So
he did his job.
We think. We think.
Cleaned up the
mess. Yeah, he definitely cleaned it up. But did he make the right decisions in who he brought in? That has to be up for argument. But in this case, I think nobody's really blaming Henderson. But we thought, at least I thought, okay, fine. It's going to take a little time for them to start to gel. But God, Ed, I didn't think it was going to be this bad 4 games in.
Yeah, man, terrible. Well, since we're still talking about Higuain, I really think after 4 games, he just hasn't shown that he can take on that 10 position. I think we really need an actual 10. I think maybe use Higuain as the second forward. Have Campana up as the number 9, I guess, and him as a second forward, and maybe he can fall back and create an overlap with whoever they bring in. But yeah, that one guy that they were talking about, the Brazilian Vega, seems like he would be the person that we would need. But we need a DP spot for that. And do we actually have a DP spot for Blaise Matuidi?
In theory, the funny thing is I don't remember seeing any article or any announcement that his DP spot is available. We all know that he's a brand ambassador for the team, but that's only because, he said he was. He showed up at an event and he kind of said, I'm the brand ambassador. I don't remember, unless I missed it, I don't remember seeing anything on their website or any article where they said, we appreciate Matuidi's time here in Inter Miami. We, look forward to working with him in the future as a brand ambassador. And now we have the DP spot available. I don't remember seeing that article.
Yeah, so that makes me think maybe we don't have that spot available, and we have to wait some time. I don't know what's going to happen with the other DP spot that we had for. I forgot his name. He's out of sight, out of mind, man. Can you believe that? The Mexican.
Oh, Pizarro.
Pizarro, yeah.
Pizarro.
Look at me, man. He's out of sight, out of mind, man. Well, Pizarro's, he didn't go. I guess they need to pay Inter Miami for the transfer to I guess for us to get that DP spot. I don't know how it works. MLS is so complicated with all these rules, man. It's so hard to keep up with them. So. So we're basically without one DP spot there for sure. And the other one that's Higuain is occupying that space. So, man, we need those DP spots.
Yep. Everybody in the chat is basically saying we need a new number 10. Higuain is over. And, of course, also a new coach, according to that chat. And there's lots that are saying the same thing. We're becoming a broken record on this show. Is every week we're going to talk about the same thing. But here's the thing: is Higuain's
unless we get a win, and
when's that going to happen? Because the next, Next game is Houston. Houston tied this week. I think it was against Colorado. So they're not a great team, but they're better than we are.
And Cincinnati, everybody thought we were going to be able to have a chance against Cincinnati, and look where we're at. They beat us.
Just
3-1.
Just I know it's early in the season, but Cincinnati is 15th place right now. Just FYI,
right.
15th. We're 28. And then where's Houston? Where's Houston in this list? This is the supporter shield, so this is the entire league combined. Houston is next.
Right.
Houston is right below Cincinnati, so they could beat us too. And then I know we have a game coming up soon with Charlotte. Charlotte got their first win this weekend. So we are now the easy win game. So the teams are going to come and play us, and they're going to look at that on their schedule. And there's no fear of playing Miami. It's now like, we could do this.
No, not at all. Houston's saying, "Oh, goody, we get to play against Miami. That's an easy 3 points.
We can rest some of our starters."
Yeah. Let's put our B team in there, and we're gonna get those 3 points, easy peasy.
Yeah. And talking to, so in on all honesty, I didn't watch all of the game against Cincinnati. I had some family stuff going on. I watched some of it, and then I watched the highlights. But that Drake Callender, he's a young goalkeeper that we thought could be the future or something like that. We've seen him play with the Fort Lauderdale team, and sometimes he looked good with that. Sometimes he looked suspect. He looked horrible. That second goal is all him.
Yeah.
You come out like that, you've got to get the ball. So.
Yeah, and it looked like Diop was going to be able to be first game he did pretty well, but second game he was terrible.
But he got hurt now. So.
Oh yeah.
So he's hurt. Yeah. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
What about Marsman, man? When's he coming back?
Well, it should be soon. As far as I know, he's been training and stuff like that. So, All right, let's before we start talking about coaches, and let's listen to at least one of these voicemails, Ed. It's time for your voicemail.
Hello.
All right, and you too can leave a voicemail at 786-474-4435. Here we go.
This is Peter Brown from Kendall Lakes, Florida. Listen, you could take any of my calls from when you guys first started doing the show, and it would be the same as this call, pretty much.
I've never called.
I don't really understand this team. They can't make simple passes. A lot of it seems to be mental. I'll give you an example. In the first half, DeAndre Yedlin had the ball on the wing, and Gonzalo Higuain, say what you want about him, but he was wide open, and Yedlin decided, and he was waving his arms too, and everyone saw it. Even Ray Hudson commented, get the ball to Higuain. Instead, DeAndre Yedlin made a bad cross. Even the players who have skill make bad decisions. And I don't really understand. Their defenders can't defend, their midfielders can't pass, their strikers can't shoot. I just don't, every single kind of player you could possibly get Inter Miami has had over the last 3 years. They've had young players in their prime. They've had old veterans who've played in the Premier League, in the World Cup finals. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what it would take to get these guys to play smarter. Ariel Lassiter is a fast player. Robbie Robinson seems to have some athleticism, but they just cannot put it together. None of them, I don't know what the issue is. Their defense is terrible. So they have a DP slot open, apparently. It would take a really transformative player. And as far as Higuain goes, maybe Falcao would be better. Maybe someone else would be better than him at that position. He is the only one of the few skilled players that we have, but I don't know, whatever. I'm not even going to defend him anymore. I'm not going to defend Phil Neville anymore. But last week when I called, you guys said something. I made a joke about how I wish the team didn't exist, and you guys gave a serious answer to that. I wasn't serious. I'd rather have a team here. I'm a long-suffering fan, just like you guys. I went to every Fusion game, took a bus to the Fusion games, as a matter of fact, several times, a tri-rail, whatever. I even got stuck overnight in Fort Lauderdale once because I stayed too late at a game and there was no tri-rail back to Miami. Had to walk around Los Alamos Boulevard getting drinks.
Oh, tough
till
night.
4 a.m. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad the team's here. They suck. And I blame...
All right, that's it. He ran out of time. He's running out of time as he talks about being drunk in Fort Lauderdale. What a tough night. Tough night to be stranded in a beautiful Fort Lauderdale where you have plenty of opportunities to get drunk.
He got to blame me at the end, so I blame it.
Yeah.
Like he was going to say Ed.
Yeah, and to be clear, I've never called this show before, so
that really wasn't Peter Brown. That was Ted Sikowski. Yeah,
that was a new one. Yeah, but it's sad. It's sad when Ted he's Higuain's biggest fan.
He loves the guy.
When Ted
has a poster of him in his house or whatever, in his room.
What's this poster look like, Ed? Is this like a
I
David
have
Beckham
no idea.
style kind of poster? I mean, what are we talking here?
I'm thinking,
to what level
he's got it probably signed? I don't know.
Is this
I think there's a lot of love right there.
Is this one of Higuain's glamour shots?
Maybe I don't know, but Ted, he was. I think there's some tension there now because he's seeing that Higuain isn't as good as he thought this year, and so
and he's calling him out
that
now.
Loving feeling.
Oh, he lost it, and so but it's funny when Ted is now no longer supporting Higuain, because all last year we were bagging on Higuain and Ted was just the one defending him nonstop. And when Ted is giving up on Higuain, it's over, right? It's over. But so it seems to be. I saw a chat in here. I don't know who said it. But somebody had said that they were going to give Neville 5 games, and he's on his 4th. So he's got 2 weeks to figure out something to get some sort of a result. Because I think if he gets a tie, if he gets a point, he's probably safe. If he gets the L, then he's got to get packing. I think it's gotten to that point. I mean, it's just so bad. And look, when you see, I don't know how many of you guys watch the post-game press conference, but I watch them all. And that's where the thumbnail came from. When you see your head coach look like this in a press conference, he is feeling it. He knows he's frustrated. It's like a guy that just has got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he can't seem to figure it out. This was his look in between calls near the end of the press conference. He was just like, you could see the stress on him just coming, flowing. It was exactly what Kata's saying maybe is right. He has run out of ideas. And at that point, when your coach is looking like this, and he's got no more ideas, he's like, I've tried everything. Then I guess it goes back to he's not the right man for the job. And it goes back to a lot of us had questions when he was brought in, just because he hasn't had success anywhere as a coach. And so, yeah, maybe it's time, Ed.
I don't know, man. Bringing somebody in this early would, give them at least a little bit more time for at least the second part of the season to get this team hopefully going with some new ideas and stuff. But yeah, you could see the frustration on Phil Neville's face. I mean, to do that, and he's, it's got to be exhausting to think you're trying everything. But yeah, we're still missing some players. There is, I guess, some type of hope. But I've been looking at the chat room, and a lot of people are talking about, we shouldn't have let LGP go. Fagal, they were, on paper, great, defenders.
But they made a lot of money.
They didn't show up all the time.
And they made a lot of money. Guys have to remember we did get hit with these sanctions. And so, and look, plenty of people were complaining about LGP last year. I saw some hate for Damian Lowe online. I think Damian Lowe's been great this year. Is he perfect? Yeah. No. But neither was LGP. LGP, I mean, he was reckless a lot and disappeared at times, got frustrated at other times. He was good, but he wasn't perfect. And a lot of people bitched and moaned about him as well. Figal had his ups and downs. I think I like Figal more. I would have loved to have kept Figal. I saw so much upside with Figal. I would have preferred to keep him. But these guys were expensive. And
plus,
so
he liked going forward.
I
like Figal too. And as a matter of fact, I think they're playing right now against each other. I think LGP is playing with River, and Figal's with Boca Juniors. Yes. So they get to play against each other this season. But look, let's talk about, Peter, who would be a replacement that you would think would be able to fill in those shoes quick?
Well, that was a question I had for you, and you stole it from me. But
yeah, you told me. You told me off the air.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Beat you.
That's what I get for talking to you before the show. But so that is the question I guess we should ask the chat.
You didn't like my ideas. Yeah.
Well, that's a question.
There's already some people talking about that. That's why.
Okay. So and we still have a couple voicemails we need to get to. But so everybody always mentions the international coaches. And the international coaches are the ones
that you can see right now.
Right. And that's all anybody's mentioned.
Look at the chat room.
Bielsa, I know, always is
That's the guy I mentioned, too.
Yeah, I know you did. And that's the one that keeps coming up over and over and over again. So, and I'm not saying that can't work. Maybe. But if you look at MLS, if you look at the history of MLS, coaches with MLS experience tend to do better. There are those few exceptions, such as what's his name from last year, Ronnie Dila last year, winning with New York City FC, NYCFC, and then Tata Martino with Atlanta. So there are some exceptions to the rule, but
exceptions.
Yeah, I think throughout the history of the league, those that have MLS experience tend to do better. What I would look at. Personally, because how many MLS coaches out there right now are like disciples of Bruce Arena? There's, I think, quite a few. The coach that just beat us with Cincinnati, Pat Noonan, worked under Bruce Arena, and then also worked under Jim Curtin. Those are the kind of people I think I personally would be looking at. Is who is that hot new assistant that's got MLS experience, knows the rules, knows the players, knows what it's like to play in this league with the issues of travel and the heat and all that kind of stuff, and playing in places like Houston in the summer and also just Miami in the summer. I think those kind of coaches tend to do better. So I don't know how a Bielsa, because you've got so many international failures that come through not only as players but as coaches in this league. So
right,
that's my concern, Ed. So now go tell me who you think it should be, Bielsa.
Well, one of the persons that I mentioned, a lot of the people are mentioning the same guy, Marcelo Bielsa.
Yep,
got a lot of experience. I don't know if his English is any good, but we had that problem with Alonso, where we thought he wasn't able to communicate with the team very well. That would be something to think about.
And is he working right now, or is he out of a job?
And One World, One Goal, Bielsa's out of a job right now.
Okay, all right, so he's available.
He's available.
Okay.
We also have One World, One Goal was just mentioned that Jason Christ was sitting right next to Phil Neville. So
yeah,
there's a guy that he's been able to get a championship team before, but he didn't do too well with a couple of other teams. So
yeah, and we talked about him last week, and so I think if you fire Neville, you now have to start your coaching search. So you're going to have an interim coach, and to me it just makes sense that's him, and that he gets that. Right, Jason Christ
is the only one with that.
I was at a loss for a name there for a second.
Yeah.
What if I and
it happens to me too.
Yeah, one world, one goal is thrown out. Jeff Cassar, that's solid. He got some head coaching experience with Real Salt Lake, because I think, if I remember correctly, he was an interim that got the full-time job for a little while. I don't know,
Right.
I don't know, because he didn't have the best record, but but yeah, Russell Buffton is saying Jason Christ in as temporary head coach, exactly. And if while they're doing the coaching search, if he has a successful run, that maybe he gets the job. But I was perusing a little bit of and looking at, say, coaches that maybe lost their job last year, as because I was trying to Google, like, who's the next hot American, or I don't care if they're American, but they got to have an MLS experience. So who has MLS experience that works for Inter Miami already also is Federico Higuain. So, and that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be American.
That's somebody that could step up.
I don't know if he's ready to coach the full team, but bring him in as Christ's assistant or something. But a name that I saw that lost his job last year and could be maybe an interesting thought, Luchi Gonzalez. What do you think of Luchi Gonzalez?
Look at that. Yeah.
The reason I mentioned Luchi Gonzalez, I mentioned him specifically because, one, I used to watch him play for Miami FC, and so he's a Miami guy. And not only because he played here, but he grew up here. He's got ties to Miami. He was instrumental in building the FC Dallas Academy. And that's how he ended up getting the FC Dallas job as the head coach. And I think he held that job for 2-3 years, and he did an okay job. I'm not saying this is the guy that's necessarily going to take us to the championship, but could he be the guy that gets us to some respectable status? Right? A guy that could help develop the academy, build that pipeline, do what David Beckham really wants to focus on, and be respectable in the league, and take us up to a certain point. And then once we have a decent team, maybe then you if he can't get the job done fully after a couple of years, you move on. But I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting name there.
Now, that could work out. I think he'd be okay for the position. Like you said, maybe not to take us to a championship, but somebody that understands the league enough to say, make some movement to get other players. Talk to Henderson, and be able to work together in that sense. To try to get a team that will be competitive. I think we've got players that can make this team competitive. It's just it seems like Phil Neville has reached a point where he just doesn't have any more ideas.
Yeah. Jazz Fusion, interesting. I agree with Jazz. Says Miami missed the boat when they let Orlando beat them out for Oscar Pereira. Oscar Pereira fits the mold. He is a solid MLS coach, and he speaks English. He speaks Spanish. I think he'd be a great fit for this community. He's a very solid MLS coach, I think, and he played, he knows the league, all that. So
Orlando just beat LAFC, didn't they?
I'm not sure. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Some people are liking the Luchi Gonzalez. Some people are liking the Luchi Gonzalez, has Miami connection. Pablo, great shout out by Peter for Luchi. One World likes it too. Jazz thinks I'm on the right track, at least. Develop somebody that's good with developing with young players. That's my thought.
Right.
Because
that's what we need. And Esteban actually criticized me. He said, Ed, give Phil until the middle of the season? Are you crazy? Have you been drinking too much? I did drink last night, by the way. So maybe
now.
It's something like that. So I don't know, Peter.
So Ed, you've
a
heard
lot of
me.
People are asking for Phil Neville's head already.
Yeah, so you've heard me, go on and on about my ideas though of who should go in there. Do you still stand by you'd prefer to have someone like Bielsa? If you could go, and I'm not, obviously Luchi Gonzalez and Bielsa, very different level of coach, right? So, but
right.
What do you? Where are you?
Bielsa, I think, would have been great to. Yeah, I think Bielsa would have been great if we had him like since the beginning. I think he would have been able to form a pretty impressive team, but unfortunately, at the time they started contracting players, and Alonso came in, and I think he only had his word on Pizarro, and I think maybe another player, and that's it. So I don't know if Bielsa, now that you've mentioned all these MLS experienced coaches, I'm starting to think maybe he wouldn't be able to work out as well as I thought, because this league is different. It's a whole different monster than any other league. So
it takes these international coaches time. It takes them time to learn this league. And right now, as fans, we're all out of time. We're done. And that's the thing is we've been here on this show. We've been preaching patience a little bit. But you can't tell that to the fans. They don't want to hear it. They're tired of the patience. And I've said many times that I think Neville should be given at least a third of the season. But even I'm starting to say, it's time. It's time. I mean, I'm watching him, especially because, like I said, you see him in the press conferences, and that shows a lot. It shows a lot when he's getting mad. He rarely. Somebody pointed this out and on social media, and I get it. Is that he rarely takes accountability. He rarely says it's on me. He's always, quite often it's the DPs are not playing at a DP level, and he's not wrong. But the buck stops with him. He needs to be held responsible for the decisions of putting someone like Breck Shea in the defense 2 weeks in a row, and that was terrible. So,
right.
But and the thing is,
I like what Russell's saying. Mm-hmm. Look what Russell put up right now. Football is football. Bielsa knows football. If they can't, try and get him.
Yeah, I don't know. And now, of course. Because I look at the history, and football is not always just football. MLS is a little bit different. Now, in Bielsa's defense, you've got someone like Chris Henderson that does know the rules of MLS. So, and he's got, for example, if they kept Jason Kreis on the staff, which they should, because someone like Bielsa would need someone that can sit there and talk to him about the intricacies of the league. Because the thing isn't just what happens on the pitch. Everybody always talks about one of the things that makes MLS so unique is the travel. And because these places in Europe, they don't have to travel from LA to Miami. They're not traveling those great distances, and that does add some difficulty to playing. They don't play in Houston in 100-degree weather in the summer, so that there's some nuances to MLS that the rest of the world doesn't necessarily have to deal with.
Yeah, Miami, it could be 80 degrees, and you go up to Canada, and it's minus 20 degrees.
Yeah. Bruno is asking, should we wait until the Houston game? Yeah, well, I don't think anything's happening before then. I mean, you never know. You never know. You never actually know, right? We didn't think Alonso was going to get kicked out as quickly as he did either. So, yeah, I guess 2 weeks. They've got 2 weeks. So, I mean, if they were going to do it early, now's a good time.
Right. Get that coach in and start doing stuff. But, like you said, they got to start looking for somebody.
All right. Let's go and listen to another voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, everybody. It's Italia, one world, one goal. Well, I said take a breath. So we really need to take a breath now because we kind of stink in the pink. Now, Peter, do not make that the thumbnail this week. Anywho, give me a quick buzz now because I'm really swamped actually moving, but literally on the same area in Shenandoah, between the Gables and Brickell, because I know Uncle Ted likes to know locations. And Peter. And Ed, I hope he had a lot of beers if he was on TV I thought I saw him, but I could be hallucinating, at the, whatever it was in Hollywood event, and they showed the fans on TV. So what can I say? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. But anyway, I'm busy. I'm actually launching a new business out of the Grove and this and that. So I may not even be on the show, but I figure I'd call in. And of course, I have to mention Diego Furnace 17. Ha ha ha. But seriously, he has some very good priced Colombian players that we can bring up. The thing is, they would need that international spot, and I know they're holding that for the, quote, Messi, Suarez, or whoever we get in the middle of the year. Oof. We better get this ball rolling. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
All right.
That's interesting. She brought up the Suarez, how much they keep saying Suarez, because he would be available by the mid-season.
He doesn't want to come to this. He doesn't want to come to this now.
Suarez?
He doesn't want to come to this sinking
ship.
He
probably doesn't care at this point.
All right.
At this point, he probably, thinks it'll be challenging to, help this team get back on track. But watching him and Higuain play together would be interesting. We need a playmaker. We don't need another forward, though.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. You get a good playmaker, and all of a sudden the forwards you have start looking a lot better. So
exactly. Remember Valderrama back in the Fusion days?
I do.
He didn't move very much.
No,
but those passes were precise.
He walked the field like nobody else. But
he sure did, and he made Roy Lassiter and one hell of a striker when he was playing with the Mutiny. Remember?
Yeah, maybe we get today's version of that and make this Lassiter the same thing. The Lassiter we currently have.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I don't know. Something Bruno mentioned that's interesting is I thought about this a little bit. The team isn't 100% fit, and there's only Phil to blame for that and overtraining them. And what I found interesting about that is they spent a lot of time and money in bringing in a whole new training staff, and they've got this woman that's overseeing all that kind of thing. It's got great experience. So you're bringing in all the right people. And we're still having issues of, say, someone like Robbie Robinson, who just always seems to get injured. And so, you got to wonder, are they getting overtrained? And you could blame Phil on that, but at the same time, you would assume he's listening to the fitness staff that they've recently, beefed up and spent time and money on. So I don't know that, but it always does. We always all last year we kept hearing, "Oh, this player and that player are not quite fit. They're still not there ready, yet. They're still getting used to the Florida weather," and it's like taking forever. So I was happy when they brought in the new training staff, but I don't know. But we seem to have that kind of an issue a lot, and like what we said before, the buck does end up stopping with the coach.
Right. Gosh, man. It's like we're talking, about the same thing over and over again, Peter, and it's just, we need something new. And if they're going to bring a new coach, or at least we win a game, then we can talk about something different. But it's like every single show that we're having lately is the same thing over and over again, man.
Well, at least this week we brought up something different as far as who do we want? Who do we want? What are we going to look at? Start thinking about people. Does it need to be an MLS experienced coach? Does that matter in today's MLS? I think it might, but maybe it doesn't. So when you see someone like Pat Noonan all of a sudden turning around Cincinnati, now I know it's early, but we're coming down on Miami this early, so then we should look at what Cincinnati's done at the same point, and they seem to be righting the ship at least a little bit. They beat Orlando, they beat us. They're sitting in the middle of the table. Things might be moving in the right direction. Maybe it's early, but and Pat Noonan again, who's a Bruce Arena prodigy or whatever, he came up through working with him. I don't know. All right. Another voicemail, Ed.
Another thing. All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, this is Pablo from Arizona. Just
nice.
Having my morning coffee here this morning, day after the game. So a lot of questions going into this international break. I think at the end of the day, Phil's got his work cut out to him. There's a lot of work to be done. I mean, that's all I can say, really. It's not going to get any easier because now you're at home next game. You're playing a Houston Dynamo team that grinded out a result yesterday against Colorado, and they're starting to kind of get things going out there. And then before you know it, you got that tough run in April with New England, Seattle, and Atlanta. So things aren't going to get easier for Phil. And I mean, my question is with FC Cincinnati now, yesterday, I know I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment talking about Brandon Vasquez, but, they finally kind of seem like they have like a long-term building block with him. Is there someone that you think that we can build upon? That's my question for you guys. Even if it's for the next 2-3 years, it's got to be somebody that we can kind of, hat on and say, hey, we're going to build around you. Anyways, hope you guys have a great week. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
It's a good question, Ed. Do we have someone?
I don't think there's we can build a team around. No. Do we have players that could, have potential? We got Noah Allen, Mabika was, if he's still there, they should give him a little more chance. But with Lowe in the defense, I don't think he's going to get. They're basically almost the same height, I think, right?
Yeah, around that. Yeah. Think so.
So it's there's some young players that we've got that could have potential, but I don't know, man. I think we kind of ran into a speed bump here. I mean, look, Bruni's talking about some of the players that we have out. Gibbs, Shea, Taylor, Marsman. All these guys are, need to come back. Marsman, I think we need him back. We need his leadership in the back.
Yep.
Help organize that, that defense, which is struggling. And that's always our problem, the defense, man. And we just can't get the guys there. We know that Breck Shea can't work as well as a defender. I think he's more of a offensive danger. I think we should keep him on that left side. But, as far as being let's not invent positions for people. We know what they're good at. It's like saying Yedlin, let's change him over to the left side. You're not going to do that. He's good on the right. So you keep him there. So, just some ideas, Peter, just stop inventing things and let's start playing these players in their right position. Saying that, do we move Higuain? Is there another player that could, in the team that could take that position, be the number 10?
Well, we can't be any worse. Can't be any worse with putting him on the bench. Yeah, we could put George Acosta in there, right? I mean, he's kind of in that midfield role.
Give the guy a chance.
He did it with the Fort Lauderdale team, and he looked pretty good with the Fort Lauderdale team. So why not? At least give him a shot in the second half.
Give him a chance.
In one of these games in the second half. Why not give him that spot? So I would say that. But as far as building around, I think we had hoped that you could kind of build around Mata and Gregory, maybe as a kind of as a midfielder.
Gregory.
Yeah. But the sad thing is even like someone like Gregory seems to have regressed this year a little bit. This Gregory is not,
what happens, man?
he's not as
it's
good as he was last
distressing.
year. And that to me is not like all of a sudden he got bad. Sure, players, I mean, they figure you out and they watch the tape and all that kind of stuff. But that has to go back to coaching. It has to.
Well, and maybe he's kind of relying now that Mota's also there, that he's relaxing a little bit too much. He's not, because he probably feels he's got that backup there, or maybe he takes him off his game. It's kind of because they're both basically defensive midfielders. So I think in last year, I think he was basically the only defensive midfielder. So there's a little challenge right there. When you bring in a new player, you have to adapt and change the way that you're playing. That might have to do with it, and of course, whatever the coach says and tells Gregory to do. I don't know, Peter. What are your thoughts?
I think we're screwed.
I'm just baffled. You're just.
I'm looking at chats. A change has to happen, right? Or it's just going to be a long, painful season. And it's funny as I'm watching social media and I see that there was a David Beckham tweet or something like that where he's like announcing that he's giving his social media over to somebody else for some charity type of thing, for the day. And my thought was just like, he seemed happy in the tweet. Like he was happy. He was doing something for charitable stuff, right? But he seemed happy. And I'm like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you looking happy. I want you to be pissed off. What are you doing this happy for? Be pissed off a little bit. Tell
these players, come on, guys. This is my team.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a train wreck right now, and I'm starting to get to a loss for words, which for me that's hard.
I know, because you could talk. You're a blabbermouth. So, do we have anybody else in the voicemails, or is that it?
Nope, that's it. Yep, that's it. Russell Buffton is asking, what are your thoughts on DeAndre Yedlin so far? What do you think, Ed?
He's got some bursts of, you can see his talent. It's like he decides, you know what, I'm going to go up there and start doing something. But I haven't seen him as proactive as I think we thought he would have been.
He looked okay.
But he's probably the best player we have right now.
Yes, I think you're right. Kada is mentioning, put Emerson Rodriguez in. He looked good versus LAFC. Yeah, why aren't we seeing Rodriguez play?
Yeah, what's up with that? I agree. Put him in. I want to see what kind of potential he's got. He's young and he can do stuff. Obviously, Campana's already played 4 games. He's only been able to score 1 goal. We need more production from him, but of course he's not getting the feeds. I mean, we that's the problem. I think we need an actual number 10. I don't think Higuain's doing it. I saw him get mad because Campana, started running, expecting him to pass the ball, and then he got mad because he got caught offside. And I was just like, but Higuain, you saw him running. You should have let go of the ball sooner, I thought.
And
there
was a play in the first half where Higuain made a horrible pass, and he and I was like that. I was curious, and is it okay for everybody to start doing this to him? He made a bad pass, and so can people get frustrated at him when he makes a bad pass? The way he reacts to others, would he like it coming right back at him? I don't know. I don't think so.
Exactly, and that might be something that's affecting the team, man. Because you've got your best player, constantly complaining and giving them attitude, instead of, and that's going to mess with you. It's going to get you pissed off. I'm sure Campana was pissed because he actually answered. I saw him gestured towards him saying, "You should have hurried up. I was making the run. You should have done the pass." And that's what I thought. He's didn't pull the trigger. I think he should have pulled the trigger sooner, and he probably would have had a better chance. But and that's just one example of the many plays that I've seen him do where he's he gets mad, frustrated at the other players, but I don't see the effort from him either. So he needs to chill.
All right, we have one more voicemail that just came in. I think it's a repeat person. I mean, I know it is. I see the phone number, and so let's see what they have to say.
Oh, hey, I'm calling back in. It's Italia. Listen, I love Esteban Dito, or however we say his name, because in the chat he wrote Diego Serna 17 should be coached. Actually, Diego is sitting for his coaching license stuff soon, but he's going to stick with the academy. You know why? Because when you're a head coach, you just got to keep your duffel bag packed and they love you for like 6 months and then they dump you after that. So he's more of the, like Carlos Hermosa has always stayed assistant coach. By the way, we could get him and promote him up, but he probably wouldn't take the job because the assistants and the academy stuff is much more stable. Anyways, love you guys, and let's keep the fingers crossed. And keeping in mind, I don't think they have enough international spots, and I don't think they have the DP until July window. Love you guys. Bye.
I don't know why that would be the case, a July window, if if Matuidi wasn't on the squad from the beginning of the season. So I don't know why that would be the case, but I mean, she may know something we don't. I don't know.
They never announced it, like you said, so there's got to be some reason that they didn't. I would have thought they could have gotten that player Vega before, but then his price probably went up after the Copa Libertadores. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna if we even do have those DP spots available. At least that one, we might just have to wait till next season, right? When we get Messi and all them other players that are going to come.
Okay, all right.
Talk about players that we'd like to have, like Ronaldo. I haven't heard him say anything about coming to Major League Soccer. Have you ever heard somebody say he's already 38?
Yeah,
37?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's still playing really well.
Yeah, I don't think he's publicly ever said he's interested in it. So I don't think so. I wouldn't expect to see him here. But then again, I say that about like a lot of these people.
Yeah, and then they show up and start playing in Major League Soccer. But yeah, he's one of those players that I just don't. He's still in great shape. He's almost 100 years old and he could keep playing. So Messi, the same thing. If coming to Major League Soccer is basically the end of your career. That's what I remember. Chicharito said that. Mm-hmm. That's the end of his career. I remember he started crying or something when they announced him for the Galaxy, and he started crying because he said that was the end of his career. And he's still rather young compared to Ronaldo.
Ed, that person has a question for you because you just mentioned it. My mouse is not cooperating. That person says, "Do you really want Messi?"
I prefer Ronaldo because he plays well in any team that he plays for. Messi, he'd sell a lot of shirts. Business-wise, I think any of those two players are going to pay for themselves. But I don't know, man. I'm not one of the I'm not that much of a Messi fan, to tell you the truth. I think he's a great player,
I think Kata.
I don't know.
Kata has the question of the night, and that is, who is Inter Miami if they were a Star Wars character? Who is Inter Miami?
Jar Jar Binks.
If they, oh God, wow.
He started the Galactic War,
wow.
didn't he?
I mean, that's how you end the show right there. Drop the mic.
Right. Drop the mic.
Jar Jar Binks.
Who would you say?
I don't know. I was sitting there racking my mind a little bit, because it's got to be.
I think that one did it, right?
It's got to be somebody that. But here's the thing: it would have to be somebody that you have high expectations for, and are constantly let down. Like so.
Like Nabil is saying, Chewbacca.
No, Chewie's a badass.
I like that.
Bruni,
battle droids. Look at that.
Yeah, Bruno saying battle droids. Rose Tico. Rose Tico is something that got unfairly criticized by so many people. So many people. I don't know why. He's just mentioning everybody. Finn. Finn was all right. But he was a little weak at times. I get that. So
yeah, I thought he was gonna have he was gonna be a Jedi or something.
If
turned out to be a regular Joe.
If we changed it to a different Star brand and we go Star Trek, Inter Miami would be anybody that wears a red shirt. Anybody?
Oh yeah, those guys that get killed.
Every week, if you're wearing a red shirt, you're likely to die. Miami. So they
look at Kata. He's saying
Miami is Count Dooku. So yeah, okay. Somebody had high expectations for. He thought he was going to rule the, be a big part of ruling the galaxy, I guess, and he just got taken down easily. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Everybody's saying Brendan said Kid Fisto.
Yeah, yeah. Miami would be vigilante, and peacemaker. But wow. Vigilante makes you laugh. That's the difference. So
yeah.
And Nabil just straight up says Miami wouldn't make the cut. They just wouldn't make it. They're just not in there.
They wouldn't make the cut. Oh man!
All right. That's enough. That was a fun way to end the show. Make us laugh. Because somebody else, I think Troy had asked a question in here earlier that is there any good news? And no, there's not.
So, and Tracker wanted to shout out for Lewis Morgan. Yeah, shout out to him. We miss him a lot, but he's doing great in New York.
Yeah. Tracker. I'm gonna have to give Tracker the Tracker. Miami is a new Chivas USA. Oh God. That's bad.
Wow.
That's bad. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
But he's not wrong.
We got to keep supporting our Inter Miami.
He's not wrong because they also played in front of an empty stadium. Just like we are now.
Oh, it's starting to get that. Look at that. Yeah, that last game, 11,000 people, man. That was reminiscent of the Fusion days.
It's going to get worse. So, all right. Ed, who should we give?
I think we start winning some games. We'll get back on. Peter, this is your call. Last week I said it. Now it's you got to do one of those, shout out to Dombera. Yeah, I saw him on TV. They were showing all the people that were at Mickey Burns, all the Southern Legion guys were having fun there, and it seemed like that was a good time, even though we lost 3-1.
Were you on TV there? Because One World One Goal.
No,
she thought she saw you.
She probably thought I was there, but no, I didn't get out there.
Some other bald guy.
Family stuff, so.
Some other bald guy.
It must have been some other bald guy.
All right. So, anyways, let's end the show here and let's give out a gift card. And I'm gonna do it a little different today because I'm just gonna give it to somebody who I thought had a good chat here at the end that made me laugh. And we're going to give a $20 Caneswear gift card to Tracker for your Miami is a new Chivas USA guys comment. I thought that was pretty funny and it was a good comment. So Tracker, if you want to collect your $20 gift card for Caneswear, where you can buy all kinds of Inter Miami gear, why don't you send me a text message at 786-474-4435, and and in that text, give me your full name and email address. So that's what Caneswear needs to get out your digital gift card. That's really how it's going to work. So thanks to Caneswear, everybody needs to go there and shop, buy all your Inter Miami gear. I need to get back there and do some shopping soon because I need to get that. Me and Ed need to get that pink collared shirt that the team keeps losing.
Yeah, we do.
Do they need to try out the black shirt because we're not winning in the pink shirt? Is that the problem?
Yeah, the pink isn't working. Or maybe it's because we haven't worn our shirts yet, Peter Brown. That's why. So we need to get our shirts.
Okay.
And then it's all going to change.
Gotcha. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and on YouTube and also on Twitter. Thank you, everybody, for participating. The chat room was great. A lot of people in the live. I was seeing the numbers grow constantly. So thank you to everybody watching live. And if you're not watching live, if you're watching this at a later date, join us on Sunday so you too have the opportunity to win a gift card. We're going to do this for a few more weeks. And then get people to come in, go get into the Caneswear store. So thanks, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.